Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Living the Amazing Life podcast with yours truly, Tim Harrell, your motivational leadership expert, as well as your business accelerator. God bless you. Thank you for joining me this morning and allow me to come into your space, come into your living room, your office area, your kitchen, your car, wherever you are. Thank you for allowing me to have a conversation with you this morning, because you don't have to, but you say, hey, I really want to log on and hear what Coach Tim Harrell is saying this morning to help me get through my week, to get me motivated, to get me started, to get me excited about all the great things that are going to happen to me this week. I know you're saying that, and that's why you come up or log on to this podcast every week, because you know I got something for you. I got something for you every week. So don't miss listening or viewing the podcast, because it's my goal, my mission in life is to help you succeed in every area of your life. My God, I'm going to do everything in my power, share every experience of my life to ensure that you succeed in everything that you do. So I pray that you had a great weekend. I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Okay. I know I'm a day late because this is May the 13th. So it's the day after Mother's Day, but I do want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. God bless your mom. I want to give a shout out to my lovely wife, LaRose. God love you, baby. She's a great mom and a great grandmother, and I thank God for her. And so I pray you guys had a wonderful weekend. I pray that you bless your moms, or if you're a mom, you got blessed. And it was just a great time. It was also, the weather was beautiful too as well. And so I know you had a wonderful time. I pray you went to church and got a word from the Lord. Amen. I know that most of our messages from our pulpit was surrounded around mothers, and I pray that the mothers were encouraged by the word of God. And so, again, grab your coffee, grab your breakfast juice, grab a sandwich, eggs and bacon if you got them, and let's get into this podcast. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you share it. Please share this podcast. Share this wealth of information that you receive on every week. Share it with your friends, your family. Share it with your enemy. Okay. All right. Share it and let them know that Coach Tim Harrell has something that can add value to their life. They will, if they listen to this podcast every week or view this podcast every week, they will grow personally. They will grow in their personal life. They will grow in their business. They will grow in their leadership. So I need you to share and make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get all the notifications when we upload videos to this channel. And you know, guys, again, you know, we always do business, leadership, and personal growth, and we're in our personal growth season. Man, I can't believe, y'all, that we are on episode 15. Episode 15. Wow, man. You know, one of the things I've learned is to be consistent. And even though that you know, things may not look the way they should look when you're doing something, I've learned to be consistent, because I believe that people take you serious. This is for somebody. People take you serious when you are consistent. Oh my God, who did I help right there? You have to be consistent. I know that's not a pretty word, or not something that people like to hear or whatever. But if you really want to maximize the potential in your life and get the success from your life, be consistent. That is not my podcast this morning, but I felt as though I needed to say that to help somebody on this morning. Okay. All right. So, hey guys, I want to get started by asking you a question, as always. Okay. Here's the question. I want you to brace yourself. Have you ever failed at something and you had the opportunity to do it again, but you were afraid? Can I read that again? have you ever failed at something and you had the opportunity to do it again, but you were afraid? Man, I was there. God knows I was there. Oh my God, man. And I'm going to share with you how I maneuver that question in my life. That particular question resonates with me because I experienced this. Here, I want you to receive this. And we're going to put this on the screen. Here's what I've learned about failure. Come on. All right. It says failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. So you cannot have success without failure. You cannot. You have to have failure to have success. Here's something else I learned. Failure is only the opportunity to begin again. Only this time more wisely. And I'm telling you guys, I learned this in business. And this is one of the things that I learned in business. And I'm going to share that with you in a minute. Okay. And so, guys, you know that I had I told you that I started my business I was a janitor, and I went from a janitor to owning my own multi-million-dollar janitorial business, right? You guys, I shared it before, and I shared it on the last podcast, and I shared it in my promo for the podcast that I went from a janitor to owning a multi-million-dollar janitorial company, right? I'm going to tell you, I would have never got there if I had not tried it again. I'm telling you, I remember, now let me back up a little bit. This company, Environmental Building Services, Inc., is my second company, second janitorial company. Professional Services of Hampton Roads, Inc., is my first janitorial company. Okay, when I started Professional Services of Hampton Roads, man, we grew fast. God was blessing. We had the favor of God on our business, but I was green in business. I really didn't understand how to operate in business. I didn't know how to really manage the back office. I didn't really understand about taxes and how to ensure that we had money for this and money for that, making sure that we were balancing things from a financial standpoint. And I struggled in that area as far as the management of the business and the operating of the business behind the scenes, or the infrastructure of the business, really having a strong infrastructure in my business. And that's one of the things that I lacked, and I suffered for it. I'm telling you, I suffered for it. And because of that, I got behind in my taxes. And one day an IRS agent knocked on my door, my office door, and say, "Mr. Harrell, you behind in your taxes. And you need to resolve this issue quickly, or we're going to levy your bank account. We're going to put a lien on your house. Oh my God, we're gonna break your legs, Mr. Harrell, because the IRS is like the mob. They're gonna get their money, right? And man, fear gripped me, y'all. Oh my God, fear gripped me to a point, man. I could not function properly. I couldn't sleep at night. All I thought about, man, I'm about to lose everything. I'm about to lose my house. They're about to levy my bank account. I'm going to lose all the money. I'm already struggling trying to make payroll. And if they take the money out of my account, then I won't be able to make payroll. Oh my God, I was stressed out. I mean, totally stressed. Stressed to the point where I ended up going to the doctor. My heart, I started having pains in my chest. And I remember my wife ended up taking me to the hospital. Yes, because I did not manage my company properly. I did not understand how the tax codes and how to pay taxes. And it cost me. It cost me dearly, not only financially, But in my emotional state and my physical state, it cost me. When all hell broke loose in our family, and our ministry, and business, man, I found myself in a parking lot sweeping up trash. We were the type of people that were advertising on television and in movie theaters, and man, we were doing it big. And so when we started the business, because we were full time in the ministry, and that wasn't working like we wanted to, and we had some crazy stuff that happened with some leadership there. And I can remember out there in the parking lot, and I would see bishops and pastors that I preached at their church, and I'm out there sweeping up trash. I'd be hiding behind cars, y'all. I was like, oh, that's Bishop such and such. But the Lord dealt with me in that parking lot. Oh my God, He dealt with me in that parking lot. And I knew even in the parking lot, y'all, I was great. I knew in the parking lot that I was great, But God had to script something out of me to ensure that I get where He wants me to be. He said, Tim, there's a commonality between your strength and your weakness. Your strength is pride because you do everything in excellence. But your weakness is that you can do it better than everybody else. He said, I'm okay with you having it, but you have to bring it together because there's a commonality between your weakness and your strength, right? And when I learned that lesson, man, I'm like, oh my God, I can still do things in the spirit of excellence, but in the midst of that, I had to be content where I was. See, I wasn't content in that parking lot, but God said you could be content, but don't be content without expectation. So you gotta have contentment with expectations. So when you're dealing with the IRS, you're gonna have penalties and you're gonna have the interest. And I thank God because God gave me a Christian IRS agent, and he understood and he worked with me. He understood that I was young in business. And one of the things, guys, I really wish I would have had at that particular time is a business coach or someone to mentor me in business. I believe if I'd have had that, that would have saved me so much pain and heartache. Yes, I believe that. And so I believe that. But because of what I went through in business, an opportunity came around again for me to do it again. An opportunity came around for me to do it again. And I was afraid. Fear gripped me because I started to remember Professional Services of Hampton Roads. I had an opportunity staring me in front of my face that could take environmental building services to the next level. I started thinking about when I couldn't meet payroll. I started thinking about when I couldn't pay my taxes. I started thinking about people that I had to call and say, I can't pay you today. And their expression and responses, it was bad, y'all. And so I started thinking about that, and this opportunity for me to do it again, I was afraid of. I was afraid. And I remember when we had this opportunity to start environmental building services, or we had started environmental building service, but it was just my wife and I, my son. And I said, well, when I started the business, I said, well, if I started, I just keep it small. I don't have to deal with payroll, taxes. I don't have to deal with all of that managing, and it's just us. And I don't have to worry about other employees. If I can't pay them, if I can't pay my wife or son, they will understand more better than someone who's not a part of my family, who has a family, who needs to take care of their family and need the money. So I said, I'm just going to keep it small. I'm not going to try to go have it big and things like that. And an opportunity presented itself, and I was afraid. I remember an opportunity presented itself for me to take. We call it a game changer. It would not double my size, but it would have took us from 3 employees to 80 employees overnight. 3 people to 80 people, y'all, overnight. And I was afraid. And I remember my son talking to me and encouraging me, hey, Dad, go for it again. Go. And I remember listening to him, but at the same time, afraid. And just something inside of me, and I believe it was the inner voice, the God voice that said, go for it. Go for it. And so I went for it. But I began to take all the things that all the failures and mistakes that I made in my past, my first business, and I began to look at those mistakes and examine those mistakes, and I began to formulate lessons from those mistakes. Yeah, I formulated lessons from those mistakes, and I began to look at those lessons, and I began to take those lessons and use them as principles in my new business. Things that I will do and I won't do, and things that I'm gonna make sure that's in place, and make sure that I got that I'm paying my taxes day one. Yes, paying my taxes day one, making sure that I'm always in front of the 8 ball when it comes to payroll versus being behind the 8 ball. Right? So when we went from 3 employees to 8 employees overnight, I made sure that we always had payroll. And from that point, we have never had to tell anybody we couldn't pay them. And that was in 2015. That was 2015. So that's been about, oh my God. No, I'm sorry. That was 2015, right? Because we started the business in 2012. It was just us 3. And then the game changer came in 2015. And from 2015 up until 2024, we have always been able to pay. We never missed a payroll, never had to call nobody, tell nobody we couldn't pay them or anything like that. So that's been a blessing. But I believe that because I took the lessons from my failures and I applied it into my new season, it helped me to govern. And one of the things that I focused on is building an infrastructure within my business to ensure that it could uphold and carry all the different things that we had going on in our company. So the infrastructure, the team, the staff, that was important to have. The operation managers out in the field, that was important to make sure that we had our training and our image and our leadership had to be in place. We focused more on leadership a lot. For environmental building services, making sure that we had good leadership out in the field and different things like that. And so there were so many things I learned from the old business that I incorporated in the new business that helped me to be a multi-million-dollar business that we have today, right? And so I just thank God for that. And I thank God that I tried it again. I thank God that I was able to get over the fear of not trying it again. When the opportunity came and presented itself, I'm glad that I went for it. I thank God for my son that encouraged me to go for it. Because if I didn't, then I would have missed out on the success in business and all the things that come with success, if you know what I mean. I would have missed out on that. And so don't be afraid to try it again. Just because you failed on yesterday, don't mean you're going to fail today. Try it again. Get up, brush yourself off, and try it again. Do not allow fear to grip you and dictate what you would do. Yeah, we all going to deal with fear in some point of our lives. We're going to deal with some type of fear. Because fear says that you don't know what's going to happen. You are moving into an area that you're not familiar with, or it's the unknown. Yeah, fear's gonna grip you from time to time. Yeah, that's gonna happen. You know, I'm not immune to fear. I still have some areas in my life that I may walk in fear in. Yeah, but I can't afford not to try it again, because I understand now that I needed that failure to have the success that I have today. Without that failure with the first company, I couldn't have had the success that I have with this second company. Y'all feel me? And so here's some advice I want to give to you guys real quick. Some advice that I want to give to you real quick. But I do want to say what Michael Jordan said. This is so good what Michael Jordan said. Michael Jordan says, I can accept failure, but I can't accept not trying. I can accept failure, but I can't accept not trying. So do not accept not trying. Don't accept that. But here's some great advice I would like to give to you. This is some good stuff, right? Perhaps it's not always about fixing something that's broken. Maybe it's about starting over and creating something better. That's what we did. We started all over again and created something better with our second company. Here's number 2. Don't let past failure stop you from trying again today. We can't undo damage, but we can start anew. This is just some great advice, some encouragement for you this morning. Here's number 3. Embrace each day as a new opportunity to begin again. I hope I'm encouraging somebody. Here's number 4. There will be many chapters in your life. Don't get lost in the one you're in now. That's just some great advice to you or for you, because I care about you. I really do. I really care. There's a saying people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The reason why I come on this podcast every week is because I care about you. I care about helping you. I have a deep longing inside of me that wants to help you. I've always been that way. I don't mind helping people. That's who I am. And I love helping you. And I'm here to tell you again that don't allow fear to grip you because you failed the first time. And the opportunity has come back around to you. And I don't know who I'm talking to. Some of you failed in ministry. Some of you failed pastoring a church. Some of you failed running a business. Some of you failed in marriage. And you say, I'm not getting married again. Don't allow your failure to turn into fear and miss your opportunity again. Or miss another opportunity to do it again. So I want to encourage you. I pray that you got something from this morning. I just wanted to encourage you that don't be afraid to try it again, because it's coming around. That opportunity is coming around again. And I want you to take this word, because of what you heard from me this morning on this podcast. You're going to be ready for that opportunity. You can say, okay, I remember what Coach Tim said, that the opportunity was going to come around again. And because I failed, and now I was afraid to jump back out there, but because of what he said and shared with me on the podcast, I'm going to go for it. Go for it, okay? All right. God bless you guys. I pray that you got something out of our lesson this morning. And again, if you would love for me to come along beside you in your journey, I would love to come along beside you and help you. And all you have to do is connect with me. I'm giving away a free 60-minute session of coaching session that you can, take advantage of. All you got to do is scan the QR code or hit the link in this post, and you can get your free coaching session with coaching session with me, Coach Tim Harrell. And I would love to add value to your life. I know that I can help you. No doubt about it. I can help you, right? I can help you, because there's not too many things that I have not experienced, especially when it comes to personal growth or business or leadership. And so I can help you. So please connect with me. Make sure you connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, of course. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I would love to be a part of your journey. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your week. I know you're going to have a great week. I know God is going to do some amazing things in your life. And if you have an opportunity to do it again, don't be afraid. Try it again. Amen. Amen. And you know what time it is, right? It's time for you to live the amazing life. I'm Coach Tim Harrell. I'll see you next week.